Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. Now, you all grew up hearing a story I'm about to tell, and I've kind of changed it a little bit and added a new and more interesting version, okay? I want you to just listen to this inspiring story. It'll sound very familiar up front, but I've made some changes and additions so we can continue our journey together. Now, once upon a time, a tortoise and a hare had an argument about who was faster. They decided to settle the argument with a race. They agreed on a route and started off on the race. The hare shot ahead and ran briskly for some time. Then, seeing he was far ahead of the tortoise, he decided he'd sit under a tree for some time and relax before continuing the race. He sat under the tree and soon fell asleep. The tortoise plodded on, overtook him, and soon finished the race, emerging the undisputed champ. The hare woke up and realized that he had lost the race. Now, the moral of the story, as our grandparents told us, was slow and steady wins the race. Now, that's a valuable lesson. But the story continues. The hare was disappointed at losing the race, and he did some soul searching. He realized that he'd lost the race only because he had been overconfident, careless, and lax. If he had not taken things for granted, there is no way the tortoise could have beaten him, so he challenged the tortoise to another race. The tortoise agreed, and this time the hare went all out and ran without stopping from start to finish, and won by several miles. The moral of this story was, fast and consistent will always beat steady and slow. If you have two people in your organization, one slow, methodical, and reliable, and the other fast and still reliable at what they do, the fast and reliable individual will consistently climb the organizational ladder faster than the slow, methodical individual. It's good to be slow and steady, but it's better to be fast and reliable, this story says. And the story then continues. The tortoise did some thinking this time and realized that there was no way he can beat the hare in a race the way it was currently formatted. He thought for a while, then challenged the hare to another race, but on a slightly different route, and the hare agreed. They started off, in keeping with his self-made commitment to be consistently fast. The hare took off and ran at top speed until he came to a brood river. The finish line was a couple of kilometers on the other side of the river. The hare sat there wondering what to do. In the meantime, the tortoise trundled along, got into the river, swam to the opposite side, got up on the bank, and continued and finished the race, and won. Now, the moral of this story was, first identify your core competency, and then change the playing field to suit that core competency. Okay, so a little planning up front. For an example, in an organization, if you're a good speaker, make sure you create opportunities to give presentations that enable the senior management to notice you. If your strength is analysis, make sure you do some sort of research. Make a report and send it upstairs. Working to your strengths will not only get you noticed, but will also create opportunities for growth and advancement. So, after the tortoise and the hare had sat around for a while, they decided on one more race, but to run as a team this time. They started off, and this time the hare carried the tortoise till the riverbank. There, in the river, the tortoise took over and swam across with the hare on his back. On the opposite bank, the hare again carried the tortoise, and they reached the finish line together. They both felt a great sense of satisfaction, and they became friends. So the overall moral of the story is, it's good to be individually brilliant, right? And to have strong core competencies. But unless you're able to work in a team and harness each other's core competencies, you will always perform below par, because there will always be situations at which you do poorly and someone else does well. Teamwork is mainly about situational leadership, right? Letting the other person with the relevant core competency for a situation take leadership help out, and you can learn from those people, right? And there's other lessons from this story as well. Neither the hare nor the tortoise gave up after their failures. And remember, we don't quit. Together as a team here on this channel, we're working together, and neither of us are going to quit, right? We're going to keep going, damn it, until we have what we want. We're goal setters. So the hare decided to work harder, put in more effort after his failure. The tortoise changed his strategy because he was already working as hard as he could. And the lesson here is that in life, when faced with failure, sometimes it is appropriate to work harder and put in more effort. Sometimes it's appropriate to change your strategy and try something different. And sometimes it is appropriate to do both. The hare and the tortoise in this story also learned another vital lesson. When we stop competing against a rival and instead start competing against the situation, we perform far better, right? And I guess to sum up the story, the primary things that the lessons that we've learned here, right, is that fast and consistent usually will beat slow and steady. Remember to work to your competencies. And I want to tell you something, that my favorite thing to hear somebody on a team I'm working with say is, I don't know. We've gotten into this corporate culture in America where nobody wants to say, I don't know, because we're afraid if we tell our boss or if somebody finds out we're not 100% aware of how to do everything, we're either going to get fired, looked down upon, criticized, something's going to happen negative as a result of us not knowing. I want to tell you that a competent leader will see somebody say, I don't know, and will say, okay, well, this is a great opportunity for me to find somebody who can help you know. That way you'll learn, and I'll be involved in the meeting as a leader, and I can learn as well. So there's tons of benefits that can come out of I don't know. But you know what I don't know shows me? It shows me I have an honest, hardworking individual who understands their own limitations and is willing to step up and get a hand up so they can accomplish new things. How do we do better? We do better by putting new information and programming into our supercomputers so that we know how to do new things. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to be a chef. You've got to go to school or possibly be mentored by somebody who knows how to cook well. And then you put that cooking knowledge into your supercomputer, and the outputs that you get from your body are cooking. And it could be at any level. You can be fantastic at it, and it's just a matter of knowing, putting the knowledge. It's a knowledge gap of not knowing how to do something, garnering the information, and now doing it. Pooling resources and working as a team will always beat individual performers. I'm telling you what, it's absolutely 100% true. The Vandergraph family is always looking out to professionals and experts in different areas so that we can maximize the potential of the opportunities that we identify. You should do the same. You can't know everything, and that's perfectly okay. Nobody does. That's why we work with others who mentor us, give us advice. And the advice and the mentorship they provide us will elevate us and garner us the opportunity to not only identify other opportunities, but to better ourselves so we can maximize the potential of the teams we're in leadership of, or as a team member of one of those teams. Another thing I think that we've learned from this story is never give up when faced with failure. And you know how I feel about quitting. We don't quit. The only difference between people who have what they want in life and the people who don't have what they want, just sit around and complain, is the people who have stuff, set goals, and never quit. Everybody comes up against obstacles. Everybody comes up against problems, but the winners don't quit. They keep moving forward. I tell you what, you could take it all away, and somebody who won't quit will get it all back, because you can't stop people like that, and I think you're one of those people. You're unstoppable. You're not a quitter. I won't beat this one to death because you know how I feel about quitting. We just don't quit, right? Awesome. And finally, compete against the situation, not against a rival. You're not competing against society. you're trying to feed a family or yourself, you're trying to care for those around you, and you're trying to better yourself. Let everybody else do what they want to do. You can't force change on others. They can only decide to change for themselves, right? So identify the problem, work with others to come up with a solution so you can work through the problem and get to your objective, or get through the situation you're in so you can move on. I want to remind you that you have survived 100% of all the crappy days you've ever had. And it really doesn't matter what the day brings you. You're going to make the day what it needs to be by stepping up. You're going to write down 20 different ways you are going to work over the next 24 hours to work towards your goal. And then one by one, you're going to knock those out until you get them done. And you're going to find yourself further down the road than you ever thought possible. Friends, I care about you. I believe in you. I want to thank the individual that reached out to me in the comments. They said that they didn't have a lot of friends and they didn't know who to go to, but they were excited that they were rejoining the workforce and they were going to be a DoorDash delivery driver starting today. And they just didn't know where to go and who to tell, but they wanted somebody to know. And, you know, I just want you to know, if you're watching this video, I hope you have a phenomenal day at work today, and I hope it goes wonderfully. I hope you get tipped well and people treat you great. I hope you're able to find all your destinations, and I hope that everything just turns out wonderful for you. You know what? You're amazing, and the fact that you're out there working is incredible. It's appreciated, and I hope you just have the most wonderful experience, okay? I care about you. I believe in you, and I know you can do it. And everybody else, friends, wish them well. Send some positive thoughts their way today, okay? I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more good stuff, all right? Take care, friends. I care about you. Bye-bye.